All right, hello again, everyone. Welcome to the Dennis Saliba channel. And in today's video, I want to talk about some what I believe to be esoteric symbolism showing itself, revealing itself in this very interesting time between 2024 and 2025. This actually connects to the White Stag of 2021. So, as we all know, this was reported in The Guardian by the editor. There she is, Lenore Taylor, editor. And basically, a white deer was killed by police running through Merseyside, what looks like to be in the UK, England. Merseyside, I think it's in the UK, England. So a rare white deer was killed by police on Sunday evening in 2021, 28th of September 2021. After it spent hours running through a Merseyside town despite animal welfare experts urging officers to let it find its way home. Merseyside police say that they were unable to find an organisation who could help safely recover the deer from Bootle, and so were forced to euthanize it out of concerns for motorists. My apologies. The first report of the white buck, which according to the British Deer Society are normally of the unusual fallow species, which was made to police at 8:45 a.m. on Sunday morning before it was spotted on several busy roads in Bootle town centre. Paula, an NHS worker from Crosby, filmed the buck galloping past a car showroom. She told the Liverpool Echo that she spotted the deer fleeing a police officer on her way into work. It must have been quite scared, and I genuinely have no idea where it was from. Police said that they later secured it inside an industrial estate where it was assessed by a vet who monitored its welfare and attempted to help the armed response officers control it. The spokesperson for the Merseyside police said that they were unable to find assistance to safely recover the deer, despite making several inquiries, and as hours went by, the deer became more distressed. The RSPCA said it advised officers to leave the deer alone to make its own way home, explaining that deer sightings in urban areas are becoming increasingly common, which I find is quite interesting. That in and of itself is pretty interesting. I do believe that this is connected to the needlecraft, of course. So this is not new. This has been reported before. This is the background context of the next thing that I will be talking about. But police said that there was no option to let the deer wander, as it could be a danger to motorists and members of the public in the area, particularly as the hours of darkness approached. As a result, the decision was made in the early evening to euthanize the deer, Merseyside police said in a statement. The RSPCA said that there were public safety, that where public safety is a concern, it is a decision for the police. One option could have been to sedate the animal and move it to a safer place to be released, but that would have taken some caution in a public area to avoid the deer being startled and running when hit by the anesthetic dart. This would create a bigger public safety and welfare issue, the Animal Welfare Organization added. A spokesperson said, although deer traditionally live in forests, moors and parklands, they are becoming more common in urban areas across the UK. We do see deer in city centres. They usually live in large park areas and will follow canal paths and tram lines to make their way in and out of the cities. Videos and photos appeared on social media showing the white deer going through a park and then on an industrial estate. In 2019, a deer was spotted in Manchester city centre running through the busy Oxford Road area and swimming in the canal. An RSPCA spokesperson said at the time said it managed to get free and run away from officers. This article was amended on the 4th of October 2021. An earlier version described the deer in the text as a rare white stag. But of course, the sighting, it's referred to as a buck, not a stag. Nonetheless, so they did end up killing the animal, and there is esoteric symbolism behind this. Like I've said, this has been reported on before. Thomas Sheridan's channel has reported on this before. But basically, under pagan belief systems, general rule of thumb, okay, not getting into specifics, the white stag is the symbol of life itself, and the life itself was approaching the city to reveal itself. However, the policemen, the bureaucracy, the control grid basically killed, symbolically, they killed the life force. The deer, the stag of life, or the buck of life in this case, depending on the reporting that you believe. So this is a little bit about the background. This is just a little brief abstract taken from Anastasia Radzievska. So maybe a Macedonian name, sounds Macedonian to me. Maybe Slavic of some kind. Anastasia Radzievska. Her 2020 thesis basically details the Paganist totem birds in Slavic folklore, the black and the white, because this is leading into our next item. It is believed that pagan cosmology once ran through the Slavic countries, and traces are visible through the passed down folklore that spread through the land. While we talk of animals and their representation in folklore, similar to the white stag, of course, the white stag being the pure symbol of the essence of life, at least in Germanic and also Viking folklore. We usually only refer to Christian written Western folklore, but these pagan-born animals stand in strong contrast to them. The Slavic people believe that the world was made of diverse natural forces that shared what the earth had to offer and worked in unison to protect one another, whereas the Christian belief system saw the world as a distinct separation of man and God. Animals are seen as divinities in pagan time, and the best proof of this lies between the pages of folk tales and fairy tales. Throughout the Slavic folklore, animals are depicted in a positive light as helpers, as friends, as magical beings, being able to provide you with gold, as magic, and superior. Don't know what the translation or word equivalent idea that they were trying to convey here, so a little bit unsure about that. If you do speak a Slavic language and you watch this channel, please comment down below. In Slavic folklore, it is more common to see animals as a sign that nature and mankind work together in harmony to create a balance and find solutions to the everyday problems people face. This thesis will focus on two different bird totems that are encountered often throughout Slavic folklore. It will be discussing on symbolism behind the animal, as well as focusing on human-animal or animal-human relations that form, and lastly focusing on animal-human transformations that take place within the stories. This thesis will prove, okay, so we're not focusing on the thesis, we just want to get into the background esoteric symbolism here. That's just to set up the significance of this particular event, because there's another interesting photograph from 2024 that should be noted. And I, on my channel, see this as a synchronicity in and of itself, which I find to be quite interesting. It's like Carl Jung's synchronicity is very much at play here. Where's the image? The image isn't showing. I think I'm going to have to display this from Discord. My apologies for the wait, guys. It's been a while since I've done all of this. I think I'm going to have to get this up through Discord first and then share screen through the internet tab, because Discord kind of like automatically puts an image on a tab. You can't view an image directly through StreamYard, it seems. Okay, so here it is. This was taken this year in 2024. An albino peacock flying over a regular one, and it looks indeed his spirit or an out-of-body experience. It's quite mystical, quite an interesting image. This is taken from what looks like here, 369 consciousness. Okay, this person knows about some numerology, whoever the photographer is. I don't have the photographer's name on this channel, but whoever the photographer is, there's a 369 consciousness image caption posted on the image. So just have a look at that. It looks like this could potentially be the return of the divine, the return of the life force, the return of the esoteric, or maybe the reincarnation of a life force meets its 3D equivalent. So there's a few interpretations you could take on this. It's quite interesting, but it's quite symbolic, I find, from the 2021 encounter with the buck and also the stag, which seems to carry some interesting spiritual significance in and of itself. It's a pretty rare sighting, this. It's almost like as if the divinity is watching over the 3D, or the divinity itself is returning to the 3D. So it's pretty interesting nonetheless. And the image itself, I will try. Actually, no, I can't post it. I will try to find a link for this image because it's quite noteworthy. So nonetheless, a lot of interesting things are happening in 2024, and we have more to report and more to come, especially with CERN. So Humanis Invictus to the Soul Tribe members out there, and always remember that we are around and we definitely want to balance the 3D, the spiritual, at least on our channels. So approach this with an open mind. If you do have interpretations or comments about Slavic folklore, or even Asian folklore that you want to post in the comments down below, please do so. I would love to hear your feedback. And yeah, Humanis Invictus, good luck to the Soul Tribe. We will conquer this evil anti-human agenda.